elements of symmetry. Fine. Symmetry. Basically, let's understand first what do you mean by symmetry. Okay. Now, have a look. What do you think? Who is he? Is there Ritik here? Who is it? Which is Ritik? Hello? Middleman? Okay, fine. So now the thing is, the first one is also Ritik. Okay, this one. But what is done is his half part of the face, like a person has photoshopped in the sense, he just took half part of the face and exactly half part of the face he has mirrored and attached. Okay, so half part of the face he has mirrored and he has photoshopped it. Do you know our face is, Acha, tell me whether our face is symmetrical or unsymmetrical. Are you sure about? Okay. Okay, now just have a look. The first one is also Ritik and the second one is also Ritik. But this face is unsymmetrical and this is symmetrical. See the difference. If our face was exactly symmetrical, we would have looked different. Our face is not symmetrical, not 100% symmetrical. Are you getting this? Which Ritik you people prefer? Which Ritik you people prefer? Unsymmetrical, yes, definitely. Me too. I have kept Ritik's uh, photograph also as my screensaver. So every morning when I wake up, I see Ritik. So my day goes very well. And do you know who is this? This is Robert Pattinson. Yeah, very good. I don't know whether you know this. He has been awarded, like he has not awarded as such, but he has the most scientifically perfect face. So as per science, he has most perfect face, symmetrical perfect face. Are you aware of this? There are certain actors also, George Clooney and all, who also have a scientifically perfect face. Uh, Robert Pattinson's symmetry is 92 to 93%. Okay, so if we had a symmetrical face, we would have been completely different. So what do you mean by symmetry? Half part, it exactly symmetrical to the other half part. That is called as symmetry, right? So when it is same, we call it as symmetrical, and when it is different, we call it as what? Asymmetrical. Now just have a look at these two. Which one is symmetrical over here? Come on, tell me. Butterfly, no? Yes, why it is symmetrical? Because you can see exactly the right hand side and the left hand side are matching each other. Whereas the tree is unsymmetrical. You can clearly see that. Yes or no? Okay, so symmetry and asymmetry is a part of nature and the same is applicable to chemistry also, right? So we in your lower standards, you people have studied symmetrical carbon and asymmetrical carbon. Yes or no? Do you remember this? Symmetrical and asymmetrical, chiral and achiral. What is the difference between chiral and achiral? Symmetrical carbon. Symmetrical means what? What is the valency of carbon? Valency of carbon is 4. Okay. So when all the 4 groups attached to the carbon are same, or at least when 2 groups attached are same, that carbon is called as what? Symmetrical carbon or achiral carbon. And what is a chiral carbon? What is a chiral carbon? When all the groups attached to the carbon are different. This is called as what? Chiral carbon. Yes or no? So what is the chiral carbon? All 4 groups or atoms attached to the carbon are different. Such carbon is called as what? Chiral. Right? Yes or no? Okay. Now you have heard about optical activity. Can anyone tell me what is optical activity? Yes, we will then do a quick revision of optical activity also. Yes, what is optical activity? Anyone? Hmm? Okay, no one. Fine. What is optical activity? Look at this. Now, can you recall when there is a chiral compound? Okay, when a plain polarized light. So, look at this light. This is normal light vibrating in all the planes, right? We allow the light to pass through a polarizer. What does a polarizer do? It's a filter. So it will allow the light of only which is vibrating in only plane to pass through it. Okay. So this light which is vibrating in only one plane is called as what? Plane polarized light. Yes or no? Now look at the direction at which it is vibrating. Okay. When you pass it through a chiral compound. Okay. What is a chiral compound? A carbon having a four different atoms or a group of atoms, right? So when it passes through a chiral compound, what has happened to the direction? Anyone? This is the observer point. This is the observer point. So if this was the direction, now the light has rotated. Are you getting this? Right? This is called as optical activity. What is this called as? Optical activity. So what is an optical activity? It is the ability of chiral molecule to rotate the plane of the plane polarized light. You can see the rotation over here. Yes or no, students? Right? Have you understood this? Okay. I'll quickly show you a very interesting video. I will also share this link with you on my channel. Now just look, have a look. I've just paused it. This is a very practical and easy example of optical activity. Can you all see this? Okay. Now what he has done is he has taken two solutions. Okay. So these are the two solutions. These are two solutions. These are two conformers R and S. Okay. Now how very quickly we can see the optical activity. It's very interesting. Just have a look. So he has taken that solution. There is a light source over there. This is a polarizer. Okay. Polarized paper. Now he is placing on it. You can see the light clearly passing through it. Now when he rotates, see, now it has turned black. So no light is passing. So where has he turned the direction? What is the direction? Which side has he turned this? Anti-clockwise. Yes, yeah. So if you look at this, it is only your left hand side, right? Left hand side, anti-clockwise. Yes or no? Okay. Now, now he will take the other solution. So let me just. Now this was one solution. Okay. Now let's say he's taking the other solution. Fine. So that first one was the R one, and now this is S. Now same thing. Now just look, he will rotate it again on the left hand side. But you can see there is no change, right? Now he rotates on the right hand side. See whether the light is passing? No, right? Yes or no? It has turned black. So on which side it has rotated? On the right, yeah, clockwise. That is right hand side. Yes or no? So what do you think is the rotation over here? R is rotating on the left hand side. S is rotating on the right hand side. Yes or no? See, you can clearly see this, right? So this is, I found this very interesting while I was searching to do this presentation. So I will share this link. I took his permission. I will share this link in my video also. Okay. So this is how the optical rotation takes place. And to check this optical rotation, we have this instrument called as the polarimeter. I will share one more link in the video, and you will come to know how exactly experimentally this rotation is found out. Okay. So I found this very interesting and I thought of sharing this to you. So this is called as optical rotation. So we quickly come to know whether it is rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise. And the molecules which are able to rotate this, we call them as what? Chiral molecule. Or I would say chiral molecules have the capacity to rotate the light either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Are you understanding this? Right? So when you rotate it to the clockwise direction, what do we call it? Clockwise, what do we call it? Yes, students, quickly tell me. When you rotate it, when you have the optical rotation, when you rotate it to the clockwise direction, so either you can rotate it clockwise, so this is called as what? This is your RHS, right? And when the light rotates anti-clockwise, this is your anti-clockwise, this is called as LHS direction. When it rotates to the clockwise direction, we call it as what? Dextro rotatory. Yes or no? Dextro rotatory, yes. And what is the other one? Levo rotatory. Yes, levo rotatory. Yes or no? Okay. This is represented as D, or it can be represented as plus sign, and this is represented as L, or this can be represented as minus sign. Yes or no? So what do you think is the criteria for optical activity? Criteria for optical activity. So far, what is necessary for a molecule to be optical active? Anyone? Yes. Which? Chiral. Yes. It should have, yeah, yes, the light should rotate. And which molecules can rotate the light? The molecules which have chiral carbon in it. Yes or no? Right? These molecules can rotate it. Yes or no? Okay. Now let's see. This is not the only criteria for optical activity. Now, for example, just look at this. This is tartaric acid. Okay. Now, I'll just go back again. I'll just share it on the white screen again. Now, what is tartaric acid? This is COH. So, I'm drawing the structure of tartaric acid. Okay. Can you identify the number of chiral carbons here? Anyone? How many chiral carbons are there? Yes, students? We are two carbons. Suppose I number this 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell me which one is chiral? Which two carbons are chiral? Yes, 2 and 3. So yes, we represent chiral carbons like this. Okay. So number of chiral carbons are 2. Sorry. What is the number of isomers? Optical. If there is a chiral carbon, there is a number of optical isomers. How many optical isomers are there? What is that formula? Yeah, 2 raised to n. So what is n here? The number of chiral carbons. So 2 raised to 2. So what is your answer? 4. So how many optical isomers should be there? 4 optical isomers. Okay. So let's consider this as one of the optical isomer. Can anyone tell me what would be the other optical isomer? So let's write it. Now imagine you have placed a mirror. Hmm? So what will be the structure like? OH here, right? H, yeah, that's right. Okay. So this is my second structures. Two more to go, right? Now let's draw the third one. So in the third one, what should we do? My two OH, yeah, OH will be on the same side. That's right. So let's, yes, yes. And I can also draw this where I can put both the, when I put a mirror over here, it will look like this. Yes or no? Yes, right. So let's consider this as third and let's consider this as fourth, right? Okay, so this is my D and L, and these two, if you look at this, it's just a mirror image, and I will call both of them as meso. Now we will see what exactly that means. Now the thing is, these two are optically active, and these ones are optically inactive. Okay, just look at the difference. What is expected? That all four of them should be optically active, but only two are optically active and these are optically inactive. Are you getting this? Okay, and these two molecules, these two are not different, these two are same. So we will see why again they are same. Fine. So now just look at this. This is my tartaric acid. This is the plus minus isomer. Fine. Okay. So this two are, first two are optically active, and I have drawn only one over here, not the fourth one. Are you getting this? Okay. So the reason is, so this is your meso compound. This is your meso. So what I can do, I can divide this molecule from here also. Yes, right? So I'll just show you. Let me go to this slide first. So look at this. This is mesotartaric acid. Imagine that you are dividing this molecule like this. So what do you see? What is like? What is this? What does this look like? Anyone? Can you tell me? Hmm? Symmetrical, yes, because the upper side and the lower side. It's like, imagine this is a mirror. This is the mirror. So the upper side is exactly same as the lower side. Yes or no? Right? So when you cut, imagine you are cutting this with a mirror plane. Okay, mirror. Okay, or a plane. So upper side is exactly like the lower side. So the same thing is possible in both the isomers, right? Be both the OH on the left hand side or right hand side. You can cut this molecule into two equal halves, right? So this, what we did, cutting the molecule using a plane, this is called as symmetry element. This is one of a symmetry element. So right now we study that there are two criteria for optical activity. One is the presence of chiral carbon, okay, but only presence of chiral carbon is not enough. What that molecule should have, the molecule should not have any element of symmetry. So when both the conditions are satisfied, only then the molecule will show optical activity. Are you getting this, students? So what are the two criteria? One criteria is presence of chiral carbon atom. What is the second criteria? That it should not have any element of symmetry. Underline this. This is very important. It should not have a element of symmetry. Getting this? Okay. So there are three elements of symmetry: plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, and axis of symmetry. What we are having over here is a plane of symmetry. Are you getting this? Okay. So what exactly is a plane of symmetry? This is an imaginary plane. It's not the real one. What is this? This is an imaginary plane. Are you getting this? This is an imaginary plane that passes through the molecule and bisects the molecule. It divides the molecule into two equal halves such that both the halves are mirror images of each other. Are you getting this? Okay. Because this molecule has a plane of symmetry, this is optically inactive. So if you look at this, it has chiral carbon. It has chiral carbon. So as per our knowledge so far, what we were assuming, if it has a chiral carbon, it should be optically active, right? But in spite of having chiral carbon, it is optically inactive. So why it is optically inactive? Because there is a plane of symmetry. If there is a plane of symmetry or any other element of symmetry, that molecule becomes optically inactive. Okay, and such molecules in which we can pass the plane of symmetry and divide the molecule into two halves, such molecules are called as meso. What are they called? Meso. Is that clear to you? Okay, so if you look at the upper part and the lower part, both are mirror images of each other. So if there is any molecule which we can get mirror images, that means plane of symmetry is present and the molecule is optically inactive. So look at these. These are some of the examples. Are you getting this? So this is similar to tartaric acid. You can see there is a plane of symmetry. Hence, what is this? Optically inactive in spite of having two chiral carbons. These are the two chiral carbons, but there is a plane of symmetry. Instead of this, I can put Cl on right hand side also and H on the left hand side also. It makes no difference, okay? Because in meso, you can put it on either side, but both the groups should be on the same side, similar groups, right? And look at this, these two are on the opposite side, same groups are on the opposite side. Now you get the DL conformers, and this is optically inactive because they're, sorry, oh, oh, just a second. I will change this. This is, sorry, this is optically active. Okay, these two are optically active and this is optically inactive. Is that clear to you? Have you all understood this? So in a molecule, we will always see a plane. So look at this. There is a plane of symmetry over here. So this side is exactly similar to this side. So this is a meso and it has a plane of symmetry. So this one is optically inactive and here there is no plane of symmetry. Suppose you divide this. Are these two similar? Are these two similar? Yes, students? No. So there is no plane of symmetry. So as a whole, we can call this molecule as chiral. Okay, and this will be optically active, and this will be optically active. Have you all understood this? Have you all understood this? Okay. Shall I proceed? So what, quickly tell me, what is a plane of symmetry? Come on, quickly. It's an imaginary line. Okay. Complete my sentence. It's an imaginary line which, tell me in your own words, in any language. Any language. Come on. Understanding is more important over here. What is plane of symmetry? Hmm? Anyone? Bisects, yeah. It divides the molecule into two halves. It bisects the molecule into two halves so that the upper and the lower part or the side parts are the mirror images of each other. Right? Okay. Now let's proceed to the next. Now just look at this. Now I've shown a diagram over here. Okay. So just look at this thing. Do you know what is a diagonal? I hope you know what is a diagonal. So this is a square. So this is your diagonal, right? Okay. Now this is a flower. You can see the different spots and different colors. So when I pass a line from the center, okay, so this is the center of the flower. This is the center of the flower. Now I'm passing a line from here. It is meeting this point. From the same center, diagonally opposite, I'm passing a line. It is meeting this point. So these 2 points are similar. Yes or no? Similarly, when I take this, I get the same points. When I draw a line from the center from here, I get the same on the opposite side. Yes or no? Okay. So what I am doing, I am drawing a diagonally opposite line and the same points are meeting. It's not like that from the center I went here and then I went here, V shape or nothing like that. It is what? Diagonal. Okay. So when such type of symmetry is observed, okay, this is called as center of symmetry. So this is my center of symmetry. Are you understanding this? This is my center of symmetry, or this is also called as inversion center. It's a point in the molecule. Now just have a look at this. This is my molecule and these are my diagonally opposite groups. Which are my diagonally opposite group? COH, COH. CH3 diagonally opposite CH3. Okay, so let's see what happens. When I draw these lines from the center, if I draw it over here, it meets COH. Down here, it also meets COH. Similarly, if I draw the line over here, this meets CH3. Diagonally opposite also it meets CH3, right? Yes or no? Okay. And what about the air? What about this? Let's see for H. So I start, this is my center, okay. So let's see, I start from here, like I can go this way. And where is it meeting? Same H, right? Now let's say for this H, I start here and I end here. So again, same, right? So when you have such matching groups on the diagonally opposite sides, we say that the molecule is having center of symmetry. Similarly, look at this. This is my COH, diagonally opposite meets COH. OH, diagonally opposite meets OH, right? So if such criteria is present, this is called as center of symmetry. So I will say that my molecule has a center of symmetry. So if element of symmetry is present, if a center of symmetry is present, then my molecule becomes optically inactive. Are you getting this? Why it is optically inactive? In spite of having chiral carbons, it is optically inactive because of presence of center of symmetry. Is that clear to you? Okay. So what is the center of symmetry? See, it's a center. So it is a point. Previous one was a plane. See, everything is imaginary over here. Don't try to find the point in the molecule. Okay. So what is my center of symmetry? It's an imaginary point in the molecule such that if the line is drawn from any group to this point and then extended to an equal distance. So like this is the line that I am drawing from this point to COH and extending over here at an equal distance, then it meets exactly similar point. Is that clear to you? Exactly similar point. What is the point over here? The group or the atom. Right? So if such thing happens, then we say that the molecule is having a center of symmetry. Because it is having a center of symmetry, our molecule is optically inactive. Is that clear to you? Have you all understood this? Any doubts? Okay. Okay. So look at this. Now can you tell me which one is having the center of symmetry? Let's draw it. So see, these are the diagonally opposite groups. Okay. So if this is my, if like consider this, so I'm going to draw it from here. Okay. So this is my CH3 and this is the diagonally opposite group. Because if I draw a line from here, the equidistant group will be this. So do you think is it having a center of symmetry? Are these two groups matching? Are these are not matching? No, these are not matching. Even here also, look at this. This is CH3 and this is H. Is it matching? Not matching, right? So if it is not matching, so what is my observation? No center of symmetry, right? Now if you look at this, if this is my center, I draw H towards H and I extend it. Is it matching? Matching, no? Both them are matching. CH3 is also matching. So what is it having? It is having a center of symmetry. Yes or no? Okay. Now look at this. These are the same molecules, but one is the cis form and one is the trans form. Why this is cis? Because these groups are on the same side. H, same side. CH3, same side. Why this is trans? CH3 and CH3 are on the opposite side. Are you getting this? Okay. So just look at this. The cis form is optically active, but the trans form is optically inactive. So what is the reason? The reason is because the cis forms, yes, cis form doesn't have a center of symmetry, hence it is optically active, and the trans form has a center of symmetry, hence it is optically inactive. Have you all understood this? Is this concept clear to you? Hello? Okay, okay. There's one more, but I don't think so. I will be able to start. Uh, let's see, 5 minutes are there. Okay, okay. I'll just do it now. Just look at this. Okay, I'll we are going to. I'll show you an animation of this molecule. I couldn't get it on the internet, so I told my sister to do it, and she did a very good job. So look at this. Now, just observe what is happening and tell me क्या हो रहा है. रोटेशन. हाँ, रोटेशन हो गया. कौन से कितना डिग्रीज? व्हाट इज द डिग्रीज? 90 degrees. Very good. Rotation 90 degrees. Okay. Now just keep this molecule in mind. Keep this structure in mind. And I go back to my presentation. So this was the initial structure. This was the initial one, right? And after rotation, it is this, right? We have rotated it by 90 degrees. So after rotating by 90 degrees, I got this. So initially, my H was present over here. After rotation, my H came over here, right? Methyl was present over here. After rotation to 90, it came over here. Is this rotation clear to you? Have you all understood this rotation? Right? Okay. Now imagine I am keeping a mirror over here. Okay, now how have I placed this mirror? This is my axis of rotation. This is my axis of rotation. I have placed the mirror perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Yes or no? You know what is a mirror perpendicular sign, right? What is a perpendicular sign? We draw it this way, right? So this is my axis of rotation and this is my mirror. If you are rotating your molecule like this, then your mirror will be placed like this. Are you getting this? Okay. So after doing this, what will happen? If you place a mirror, you will get a mirror image. You will get a mirror image. Yes or no? Right? So let's see what the mirror image looks like. Exactly like this. So imagine this is your CH3, exactly opposite is this. This is your edge, exactly opposite is this. So this is my mirror image. This is my mirror image after taking the after the rotation. Okay. Now look at my first image and this image. Are these two same or different? Same, no? Same, no? Yes, same. Right. So what we did, we first rotated, right, through a certain angle. Then we took a mirror image and then checked whether the mirror image is similar to the original image, right? When such thing is observed, when these two, the original molecule is similar as the molecule after taking the mirror image, then such molecule is said to have alternating axis of symmetry. What does it have? Alternating axis of symmetry. Okay, so what you just saw, we did two things over here. What was the first thing that we did? We rotated. We rotated, right? Second, what we did is we took a reflection, right? So what is an alternating axis of symmetry? It is an imaginary axis, remember this, such that if the rotation of the molecule is carried out by 360 by n. Okay, n is the number of rotations. So here I have shown the formula. We'll see that later. Okay, followed by a reflection on the plane perpendicular to the axis generates a structure which is identical to the original one. So if the original structure and the mirror images are equal, then the molecule is said to have axis of rotation, and if axis of symmetry is there, then the molecule will be optically active or inactive. Inactive. So what is my this molecule? Yes, it is inactive. So my this molecule is optically inactive. Yes or no? Why is it is optically inactive? Because it has a axis of rotation. Is that clear to you? Have you all understood this? Now, for example, for our structure, we rotated the molecule by 90 degrees. No? So if I'll divide this by 90 degrees, what is the answer over here? 4. Right? So my the Sn will be S4. So I can rotate it 4 times and I can get the same molecule. Fine. Look at this. Look at this. Just I'm rotating from this side and I'm rotating by 180. So this is my see I've numbered it over here. This is 1. Now when I rotate it by 180, this will come over here and this will go over here, right? So the position number 1 will come over here. Yes or no, students? Right? Have you understood this? Imagine the molecule you are rotating by 180 such a way. I have just numbered it so that you can understand this. So when I rotate it by 180, so when I rotate it over here, this will be 90. Again from this side when I rotate, this will be 180. So my first position will come over here. So second, third and fourth. Whatever is on the first carbon, we will write it. Second, third and fourth. Now this was my axis of rotation. So my perpendicular plane will be this. So this is my perpendicular plane, right? Now just check whether, now just we will see the mirror image. So mirror image of third is this. So COH नीचे है, यहाँ पे ऊपर, right? pH, so this is how it will look like. H का यहाँ पे आएगा, pH will be down here, right? So I have written this for your understanding so you can get a better perspective. Now is A matching with C? Is A matching with C? Yes. So A is equal to C. So we say that it has alternating axis of symmetry. Therefore, our molecule is optically what? Active or inactive? Inactive, no? Why it is inactive? Because it has axis of symmetry. Have you all understood this? Okay, you can also pause the video and just check afterwards where how you can draw practice these ones. Okay, so this is CH3, rotate it to 90. 90, when you rotate this will come over here. So H, right? CH3, so everything goes. Then just take a mirror image. This is my axis of rotation. This is my mirror plane perpendicular. Take the mirror images. Check the original image and the last image. If these two are same, it is it same? Is it same? Is it same? This is A and this is C. This is B. Check. Start with this. H यहाँ पे, H यहाँ पे. Okay. CH3, CH3. CH3 ऊपर, CH3 ऊपर. H, 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 H. CH3 down, CH3 down. CH3. Same है ना? So, yeah. Same. Optically active or inactive? Yeah. Right? Have you all understood this, students? Is this clear to you? Okay.